Hello and Namaste, this is Danfe TV. On today's news, we have an article titled Is Modi's Visit Aimed at Curbing China's Influence in Nepal? By saying that Buddha was born in Nepal, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has tried to overshadow the border dispute and other issues with Nepal. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has used the religious diplomacy to increase his declining popularity in Nepal. Earlier during his visit to Janakpur Dham, Prime Minister Modi had said that Ram was incomplete without Sita. During his visit to Lumbini on the day of Buddha Jayanti on 2nd Jyeshtha, Indian Prime Minister Modi also talked about Sita and Ram. His speech was aimed at refuting the argument put forward by former Prime Minister KP Oli that Ram was born in Nepal's Dhuri. By raising the issue of Pashupatinath, Janakpur, Muktinath and Lumbini, Indian Prime Minister Modi has tried to divert the issue of Chuche map of Nepal. The then Prime Minister Oli has made public the Chuche map covering the Lipulek and Limpiadhura areas, which has laid under Indian control for a long time. India has not recognized the map prepared by Nepal on the basis of official evidence. Recognizing the latest map of Nepal, India should withdraw Indian troops from the land of the Chuche map. So far, however, India has remained silent on the issue. After the blockade of 2072 BS, Indian influence in Nepal seems to be weakening. During Oli's tenure as Prime Minister, India viewed Nepal with more skepticism. The reason behind that is that Oli did not surrender to India during the blockade. In addition, Oli had forced India to lift the blockade by signing a transit agreement with China. The recent Chuche map released under Oli's leadership seems to have led to the conclusion that Oli was used against India. The Dewa government formed after Oli has been making every effort to improve relations with India. During his visit to India, Dewa had raised the office of the Bharatiya Janata Party against diplomatic dignity. Dewa is likely to be the first Prime Minister to visit the ruling party's office during his official visit to India. During the visit, Dewa even asked the Nepalese embassy in New Delhi to keep the old map of Nepal. Use of religious diplomacy. During his visit to Nepal, Vijay Chauthaiwale, a confidant of Indian Prime Minister Modi and head of the Bharatiya Janata Party BJP Foreign Affairs Department, tied the knot Rakhi with PM's wife Arju Dewa in Balwadar. As soon as the Dewa government was formed, Chauthaiwale came on a 5-day visit to Nepal. The religious diplomacy exercise started by Chauthaiwale, who came to Nepal as Prime Minister Modi's envoy to improve relations between the two countries, seems to have come to fruition in Lumbini. During his visit to Lumbini, Indian Prime Minister Modi seems to have tried to show that he is a follower of Buddhism. The message of his efforts is more aimed at China than Nepal. The influence of Buddhists in Nepal is not so great. Therefore, Pashupatinath worship is more important in Nepal than Lord Gautam Buddha. During this visit, Modi did not show interest to view Pashupatinath in Kathmandu. In recent times, Lumbini has become more of a Chinese tourist destination than an Indian one. China built a Buddhist temple in Lumbini in 2000. It is the first Buddhist temple built abroad by the Buddhist Association of China under the Chinese government. Along with the Buddhist temple, the interest of the Chinese in Lumbini began to grow. Most recently, in 2011, an agreement was reached between APEC and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization (UNIDO) for the Chinese NGO Asia Pacific Exchange and Cooperation (APEC) to spend $3 billion in Lumbini development. India is furious at the process made by APEC, headquarters in Beijing in Lumbini development. The United States, Japan and European countries also expressed skepticism. At that time, it was made public that CPN-MC Chairman Pushpakamal Dahal was the co-chairman and former Prince Paras was also an APEC official. APEC's works to move forward has not yet begun. On the eve of Indian Prime Minister Modi's visit to Lumbini, former Indian ambassador to Nepal, Ranjit Ray said in an interview to Nepali language on online Khabar, China seems to be trying to use Lumbini to promote Buddhism. China has seen its religious and trade interest fulfilled by associating itself and Buddhist countries in Southeast Asia with Lumbini. so they have increased their interest in Lumbini. The interview of former Indian Ambassador Ray also shows that the visit of Indian Prime Minister Modi to Lumbini is not only political. He headed to Lumbini from Delhi with a plan. Modi seems to have set out on a visit to Lumbini to restore Nepal-India relations after India came to the conclusion that the attitude of Nepalese towards Indians could not be positive due to the Indian media claiming that Buddha was born in India. In his 15-minute speech, Modi tried to restore his lost image in Nepal by addressing in Nepali language 4 times. In addition, he has succeeded in sending a message to China that India is also an important player in Lumbini. Although there is no agreement on Buddhist circuit put forward by India, an agreement has been signed between Lumbini and Kushinagar to establish sister city relations. In Kushinagar, Buddha achieved Mahaparinirvana. Apart from these 2 places, India wants to make a Buddha circuit by connecting Sarthak and Bodh Gaya. Is the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Lumbini, Modi seems to be forwarding for a Buddhist circuit like the Ramayana circuit. His wish has been shown by the current visit. Visiting Kushinagar, Sarnath and Bodh Gaya for religious tourists who visit Lumbini seems to bring more economic benefits to India than to Nepal. Apart from this, Nepal has remained silent on the possibility of making a Buddhist circuit in Nepal by connecting the areas related to Buddha in Nepal. The first and foremost message that Modi wanted to convey to China by visiting Lumbini through religious diplomacy is not only you, but we are also connected with Lord Gautam Buddha. In other words, Modi visit is an attempt to change the negative attitude of the public at him, not only in Nepal but also in China. Due to the large number of Buddhists in China, Modi seems to be trying to convey the message that he is a follower of Buddhism. In Nepal, however, this is just one link in improving relations. Same not covered. During the visit of Modi in Lumbini, Nepal started the second international airport. Modi did not participate in the launch of Bhairava airport. It was an attempt to show China. The media tried to save the face of Modi by saying that Modi would not participate in the opening of the airport because it was built by a Chinese contractor. During his visit to Lumbini, Modi flew from Delhi to Kushinagar airport. Modi arrived in Lumbini from an Indian Army helicopter after attending a Buddha Jayanti program in Kushinagar. Modi could have used Bhairava airport directly instead of Kushinagar airport. Dominating thinking that India has been showing towards Nepal seems to have worked behind not using Bhairava airport. After Nepal started construction of Bhairava International Airport, the possibility of Indian nationals travelling in and out of the border area through this airport had increased. In addition, Buddhist tourists visiting Kushinagar were also likely to pass through Bhairava International Airport. To counter this possibility, India upgraded Kushinagar Airport to an international airport. The airport was inaugurated by Modi on October 20, 2021. Sri Lanka's Youth and Sports Minister Namal Rajapaksa and more than 100 Buddhist monks were brought to Kushinagar for the inauguration ceremony. Built with Buddhist tourism in mind, the airport is an alternative to Bhairava Airport. As it is 135 kilometers away from Bhairava, India seems to have built this airport with the idea of bringing Buddhists to Kushinagar and from there to Lumbini by vehicles. On the other hand, the workers going to the Gulf from the area seems to be trying to develop Kushinagar as an alternative to using the Bhairava airport. Therefore, during his visit to Lumbini, Modi seems to have used Kushinagar airport instead of Bhairava. His efforts suggest that one should use the Kushinagar route to Lumbini, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha. While using Bhairava airport, the message of another international airport operation in Nepal could have reached the Indian media. It also brought the issue of the short route from Bhairava to Lumbini to international prominence. Modi seems to have tried to convey the message that a helicopter is needed to reach Lumbini without using the possibility of coming by vehicle from Kushinagar. The visit highlights how Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has long claimed that Buddha was born in India, is still trying to politicize the issue. Depend on India. This is the second meeting between the Prime Ministers of Nepal and India in 44 days. During this meeting, 6 agreements have been reached between the Prime Ministers of the two countries. Kathmandu Tribhuvan and Lumbini Buddhist Universities of the Indian Institute of Technology Madras (IITM) in India have signed 4 MOUs and 1 agreement in the field of education. As per the agreement, Kathmandu University KU and IITM have started conducting engineering classes on energy system at postgraduate level from this academic session. An agreement has been reached between the Indian Council for Cultural Relations (ICCR) and the Center for Asian Studies (SINAS) at Tribhuvan University to establish an ICCR chair for Indian studies. It is said that this understanding will help in studying the Nepal-India relations. SINAS has stated that the professors of international relations from India will stay in Nepal to help. SINAS has been studying Asian countries since 1984. To study Buddhism between Lumbini Buddhist University and ICCR. An agreement has been reached to set up a Dr. Ambedkar chair. The agreement was signed to research the Buddhist culture of Nepal and India. For this time, the government of India will send the professors of Buddhist University in Nepal. The Indian chair, which is being set up in 3 universities, will conduct research on Nepal-India relations. This program is likely to turn the knowledge-producing university sector into a platform for Indian experts. Sutles, which had earlier got the job of constructing 2 hydropower projects, has also been entrusted with the work of another hydropower project. Indian company Sutles Hydropower Corporation has got the job of construction of Arun 4 semi-reservoir hydropower project in Sankhwasabha. For this, a company will be established with the joint investment of Nepal Electricity Authority and Sutles. NEA will own 49% and Sutles 51% shares in the company. Sutles, a joint venture between the central government of India and the government of Himachal Pradesh, has been entrusted with the construction of the 900 megawatt Arun 3 and its 679 megawatt Lower Arun hydropower project. As per the agreement, Nepal will get 21.9% and 21% electricity free of cost from these 2 hydropower projects respectively. It has been agreed that Nepal will get 21.9% electricity from Arun 4 free of cost. Deva has also negotiated to hand over the 750 megawatt West Seti hydropower project to Modi. India's investment in Nepal's hydropower sector seems to be increasing significantly, due to which India seems to be taking the advantage of Nepalese water. On the other hand, this visit has shown that India's eyes are again on Nepal's micromanagement. With the growing influence of the US, India is also seeking to increase its presence in Nepal, which is under its umbrella. For that, Navin Srivastav has been sent to Nepal as the new ambassador on 3rd May. He was earlier the head of the East Asia desk at the Indian Ministry of External Affairs. He is known as an expert on China affairs. In May 2020, Srivastav played an important role in resolving the dispute over the line of actual control (LOC) at Ladakh on the Indo-China border. His jurisdiction included China, Japan, South Korea, North Korea and Mongolia. He has also served as India's ambassador to Cambodia. Srivastav, who has also served as India's Consul General in Shanghai, seems to be focusing on reducing Chinese activity in Nepal. With this, we are at the end of the report. If you are liking our content, then don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel.